I'm Alex Berman, and you're watching Selling Breakdowns. And this time we're talking about the art of copywriting and advertising. When was the last time you didn't skip the ad before the YouTube video you were watching? Or when did you actually visit the ad page on a website and bookmark it or take a screenshot? Not that often, right? Now, when all of us consume so much content online, we're bombarded with advertisements, but not many of them are memorable. One reason for it might be that you don't need the product the ad is marketing. But another reason, probably more important, is that the ad isn't interesting enough.
Don't be a bore. You cannot bore people into buying your product. You can only interest them in buying it.
The man providing this essential lesson in marketing is the OG, the granddad, the grand wizard of advertising and copywriting, the great Mr. David Ogilvy. Ogilvy is one of the original inspirations behind the show Mad Men, founder of the Ogilvy and Mather advertising agency, people who in the 40s and 50s changed the way marketing and advertising were done. Ogilvy is to advertising what Beethoven is to music, Charlie Chaplin is to on-screen comedy, or what Babe Ruth and Michael Jordan are to their respective sports. Let's hear from copywriting expert Neville Medora.
By David Ogilvy. This ad in like 1980 brought in something like $1.8 billion in revenue to the company. And the reason is what they did was, instead of having a fancy art director do all this stuff, David Ogilvy just wrote out all the secrets of advertising. So they put this out in magazines and newspapers. And what that did was other advertising firms would boop, 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 boop.
Before the Ogilvyian style of advertising, agencies would get contracts based on their art direction merits, the art department would win awards for their creative choices, and the agencies would get more contracts. But Ogilvy changed all that. He believed in a direct and interesting approach. He didn't subscribe to the idea of jazzing up the campaigns with comedy and other gimmicks. Ogilvy once famously said, "Rely on the truth and make the truth interesting." Simply put, Ogilvy wanted sales, and that was the major innovation. He believed in direct response copywriting. The origins of Ogilvy's business philosophy could be traced to his life before he started his ad agency at the age of 38. Born in England to a middle-class family, Ogilvy dropped out of Oxford. Among many other jobs, he sold Aga cooking stoves door to door in the Depression era, and the manual that he wrote for the stoves was described by Fortune as probably the best manual ever written. After immigrating to America, Ogilvy did a lot of research for George Gallup's research agency for a whole decade, from 1938 to 1948.
Study the product. The more you know about the product, the more likely you are to come up with a big idea for selling it.
But the biggest attribute for Ogilvy's success was his precision and design of words. The format adopted and popularized by David Ogilvy in print advertising was this: a large image about the product, a headline below, followed by text about the product. One of the most successful and interesting campaigns by Ogilvy was the Hathaway Shirt Man. It was a campaign for a tiny shirt company from Maine. On the shoot day, Ogilvy added the eye patch as a prop to induce curiosity. The gamble paid off. The eye patch got eyeballs, and Ogilvy's text gave the buyers the information they needed, and the shirts sold out after the first campaign. Ogilvy brought a sense of ethics and professionalism into the advertising industry in the US. Another important quality about Ogilvy was his respect toward the intellect of the buyer. He once famously said, "The consumer's not a moron. She's your wife, don't insult her intelligence. You wouldn't lie to your wife, don't lie to mine." Ogilvy continued to climb the ladders of success and was among the top dogs in advertising through the 50s and 60s, until he retired from the New York office in 1973. He moved to Paris after his retirement. The key principle that brought all of this success to Ogilvy and his firm was a focus on selling rather than entertaining. Ogilvy understood the difference between the two, and that's why he was so against using celebrities in ads. Once, in a speech at an awards show, he expressed his disdain for entertainment rather than substance in ads. He said, "There's a disease called entertainment that's infecting our business." He also regretted his own decision of putting the First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt in his campaign for a margarine brand.
But times have changed.
Ogilvy believed in content, using the right words, and testing. And for that, he was inducted into the Direct Marketing Hall of Fame. Also, he just didn't like the medium of TV ads. He believed that those ads focused much more on presentation rather than content, and that it was hard to track down directly how much they contributed to the sale of the product.
So end ancient Chinese pantomime is pretty good commercial.
But I think nowadays, especially with the internet, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, etc., Google ads, you can track this to a precise degree. And that was David Ogilvy's dream. He never got to really see that internet age come out, but he loved talking about how much better direct response marketers were than general brand advertisers. That's why I liked him. He was all about the numbers, all about the science.
The lessons that we can learn from David Ogilvy, the father of modern advertising, are this. Tell the truth and make it fascinating. The consumer is not a moron. Keep researching and testing. Catch the consumer's curiosity and satisfy it with well-formed text, i.e. copywriting. And don't focus on gimmicks. Entertainment doesn't matter. Sales do. Now you can apply all these principles and use them on your next big idea. As the master says,
You know what clients want from us is big ideas. Unless your advertising has a big idea, it will pass like a ship in the night.
thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Also on the screen, you can see some of our past videos.